Welcome to Shorty SuperCoach and welcome to my press conference. Going to take a look at my side as I always do, and it was a pretty tough week all round for most people. There are a few of our stars that were well down and quite a few low scores from guys that, have been in reasonable form, and a few guys didn't bounce back as well, which meant we didn't get much coverage there. So it was a pretty poor week, which isn't an unfamiliar story. Pretty shit house, fair to say. I'm not sure which other way you could say it. We've gone down 2,000 spots. And, we'll take a look at my side. There's some good things, but basically there's more bad things going on than good things. I mean, there's a lot of poor scores in there. The forward line is an absolute howler. It's just shocking. You can't change the scores if you had. I've been trading fairly well. Bring in Tom Mitchell. He has a stinker. It's a good move to bring him in, but just a bit unlucky there. And I can't remember what my other move was I'll bring in Spargo. Probably should have gone Ronke. Again, whatever. Laird, good. Sicily, good. Lloyd was really good. That was probably, really positive because I was starting to wonder if he even had a ceiling. So that was good. Savage was, okay. Duday, Murray have sort of stagnated a bit, and I'll definitely offload one of them. And Norton, that's just a kick in the balls, that one. I mean, he's finally started to get some form, starting to make me some good coins, some solid 70s, and then he comes out and does that. I'm not sure of the extent, but, you can't really control that. Fife was good as captain. Cripps really good. Martin was kept out by Jacobs. Canelio hasn't been as good the last couple of weeks. Merritt is having a stinker, as are a lot of Bombers. Kelly, really good. Holman, pretty poor. Banfield, really struggling, so you have to say he'd be someone who'd make way. Caulfield, I really like the look of him. He looks really composed. Rucks are going nicely. They've been really solid for me all year, which is great. McLean, really good. Been a good inclusion the last few weeks. Heaney, I don't know what game they were watching, but I was there. Yeah, I thought he was one of the better players on the ground. I know he put it out in the full a couple of times. Haven't even looked at his stats, but I thought he was much better than a 78, but whatever. Smith, few tackles in there, really good. He's been a good selection. Petrarca just stinking it up, something shocking, so it is what it is. Henry, far from his 114, so that sort of, it stalls his growth a little bit. And Spargo, likewise, had a shocker, and you had Fritz on the bench, so yeah, it's fair to say Shorty's probably focusing on draft. That'd be fair to say. I'm going pretty nicely in draft, mind you. Much better than the Classic. But in terms of trades, I'd have to say Dangerfield's the one I want to bring in. I've been looking at him for some time, having him and Mitchell as my two upgrades. I got Mitchell, and look, Dangerfield went bang with 137. So I'd have to say, particularly with probably Menzel and Hawkins coming back, he's not going to play as much forward. Clearly he can score as a forward, but I think you'll see more midfield minutes from him. So I'll have to do the numbers and a few break-evens, but I'd imagine it'd be Duday or Murray, because I'd love to just go Norton or someone like that, down to maybe a Keefe or Cummings, or I wouldn't think it'd be Eagles, but someone around that defensive line. It's not the greatest of bubble boy trades, but I need that money and I want Dangerfield, and I think Banfield's probably going to be the one who has to go. Holman, 50 is not great, but at least it's not one of those 30s that he's dished us up a couple of times. So I would imagine he could still be a chance to get up to 300 with a couple more, more solid scores. Banfield's just been, sort of got to 270 odd, and I think it's just going to start to really struggle from here. So I think he'd be the one to make way. So yeah, that's basically, obviously I'd love to do Norton, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to need that extra 50, maybe even 60, 70k to get up to Dangerfield, and that's just my priority. I'll be looking at, a Walters or a Green or a Franklin to fix up that forward line when they do come back. They're coming off poor scores, they'll be cheap enough. Fritz is going to make some nice coin. Henry will get beyond 300, you'd think. So there's going to be possibilities there, which will be okay. But yeah, the midfield's going to be, you know, nearly complete. I mean, Kelly's going really nicely. I would imagine at some point he's going to have to be traded. But for the moment, you can clearly keep him in there. But there's just a lot of players who are out of form, and I've had to waste trades on guys like Billings and Wingard, and, you know, I had to get rid of Kelly and Salem. So, you know, you sort of look back in hindsight, and there's a few things where, you know, you buggered it up, you've missed a few opportunities, a few guys you should have got, and you got to waste a few trades to get them, and, you know, a few guys just haven't turned around the form. A few guys were going well and have come into a bit of poor form. So, you know, it's disappointing, but yeah, that's pretty much, it is what it is, as they say in the coach's box. I can't be doing too much more once the weekend hits, but yeah, I've got a fairly early morning in the Shorty household, so I think I might wind it up there, get this one out and get into bed a bit earlier than I normally would. But yeah, hopefully you had a decent week in the old world of SuperCoach, and yeah, I'll be back later in the week for a bit of a weekend preview. Thanks for the subscribers who have come on board too. Seems to be just a couple of extras coming through the last week or so, which has been really good. So if you're tuning in for the first time, thanks again. But yeah, I'll be back soon. I hope you had a better week than me. I'll chat to you later. Cheers.